Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Um, News and views. Um, and first, let me get my shout outs out to my peeps out in California. Ni hao, ni hao ma. My Chinese speaking peeps. Those Brazilian Portuguese speaking ones. Oi, tudo bem? To my French speaking people, bonjour mes amis. To my Igbo speaking people, Kedu. And of course, those of y'all in Deutschland, was ist los? Wie geht's this evening? Alright. With that said, title of this is going to be simple. It's like Pinky, a whore, and her pimp, which is Fang, and her first boyfriend, glorified by the thirsty and simps. And her story is the consequences of a mom choosing a thug as a father. Alright? And Pinky, for those of you who don't know, she is a black porn star known for what else? Her butt, like every other black porn star, right? She is the product of the single, independent, I don't need no good man to help me raise a child kind of mother. How she got into porn is going to be surprising because of her said potential, but not surprising in that she was raised by a single mother. And I'm not implying that her mother was into porn, but this is a deep story, y'all. And for you single black women out there that don't need no good men to provide direction and be the head of the house, this is what you get, no matter how smart your daughter is. So let's look at this. Let's look into this. And I got wind of this about somebody mentioning it in the comment section. So I kind of looked into some things, right? And I was really astonished and surprised. And I think what got me into this was her father in jail watching it, and so I looked into that to see if it was whatever. And we'll get to that later on into the video. But just pay attention to this. And this is her own words as to how her family feels about it. And I'm going to remind you of the commandments: honor thy mother and your father so that your days may be long. Okay? But the word honor, right? Or respect. And so basically, let's get along with this. Hear this from her own mouth in the interview in question that had some people in an uproar, but it was not as bad as it is, but it is bad. All right, let's get to it.
Shout out to VladTV.com.
How did your family really take it once, because when you were stripping, that's something that really no one could know about it, unless someone just happened to just kind of stumble into the club. But once you start doing movies, you're actually doing promotion. Everyone knows that so-and-so sister or daughter or
it's
whatever.
Crazy because I was like the most likely to succeed. I was the one that got sent away. I got a scholarship to go to a special high school in Minnesota. Like, I used to play violin, dance ballet. When I graduated from my school, I got all these awards. Everyone knew I was going to go to college. So the disappointment was when I was 17 or 18 and I didn't go to college. That was like the first blow to my family. Like, oh my God, all these years we've been going to recitals and doing this and doing that, supporting you, and you didn't go to college. So the first blow was that I didn't go to college. When I was 17, sneaking and dancing, my mom found my whole bag with my stripper shoes and condoms and lube and vibrator and lingerie, and I'm only like 17. So that was like, damn, she knew, you know, she found out. And
how did she get?
She was mad. She tried to fight me. She tried to fight my boyfriend. She body slammed me on the ground, started choking me. He had to act like he was gonna hit her for her to get off me. And then she was like, oh, it was just fucking crazy. I got kicked out my house. But when I started doing porn, my mom used to always tell me, and I learned from that situation, her trying to beat the fuck out of me. She always told me, you know, tell me first. Like, I don't want to know from somebody in the street. You know, tell me first. So before I did porn, I told her, I was like, look, Ma, this is I don't want to hear it. 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 And I'm like, Ma, I'm telling you because this is something that's going to benefit and not just benefit, but you're going to be affected by it too, you know, negative, positive, whatever. So I was like, you know, I want you to know this is what my plan is. This is what we plan on doing. We're going to do it this way. Because, you know, the whole plan was, you know, I did it independently, was selling my DVDs in the club. I, you know, wanted to get a website, then, you know, do scenes for other companies to blow up to, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I told her, she was totally not with it, didn't want to hear about it. She actually made herself believe in her mind that I wasn't doing porn, but I was just taking nasty pictures. She never really understood until she started seeing me in the magazines, and you know how the little advertisements in the back, or people keep mentioning my name, and she'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're that popular, and this and that. She still don't understand the extent of how popular I am. But now it's different, because it's been some time. So now she's like on some, oh, my baby, you know? Like, now that I do music, like, she likes my music, and like sometimes I have this explicit stuff, and it's embarrassing when mom's listening to it, but she's just so proud of me that, I mean, I guess it's a situation where she had to like let it go. She had to get over it, you know? And my father's been in prison since, I think I was like 17 when he went back to prison. And like, he's a big fan of Cherokee. Shout out to Cherokee Diaz, XXX.com. And this is so sad, but you know, if you're in jail, you're gonna, whatever you can get your hands on, you get your hands on, you know? So the fact that I'm in the same orgy or the same movie as other people he he say that he just fast forward and just go to somebody else or just skip the scenes, you know?
Wow.
So that's embarrassing that my father see me fucking on film, you know, but it is what it is, you know? And
wait, so you and your dad have had a conversation about this?
And I didn't see, it was hard enough me telling him that I danced at the club, you know, but he's from San Francisco, so it was people he already told him, so I had to come clean. But now with the porn thing, I was like really embarrassed about it. I was like, but he was on some shit like, you know, I don't want you to not be a part of my life, and he's already locked up, so he was just on some shit like, you know, I love you, you know, as long as you're protecting yourself, as long as it's something you want to do and it's not something that someone's making you do, and la 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 la, you know, if this is what you choose to do, then hey, you know. So
when's he supposed to get out?
He's in a fire camp now, and I think they're gonna release him early for good behavior. He's not supposed to get out until like 4 more years, but he might get out sooner.
All right, y'all. That interview was compliments of Blot TV or whatever. Couple of things I want y'all to look at, and one is hoe bag. Now, she calls it a hoe bag, which meant that she knew that it was derogatory at 17. She threw away promise, right? She threw away promise, but look who raised her. Her mom did. Now, what kind of boyfriend did she choose to get her into that? The same kind of man that her mom chose, that's what she chose. Only the man that her mom chose stayed in and out of jail, and the boyfriend she chose pimped her out into stripping and into pornography. All right. Now, let's keep in mind, this woman was pimped out into this industry by the dude who is making money off of her. Now, even with all this stuff her mom tried to put her in, thinking it was going to steer her straight, if there's not a man in the house to provide direction and discipline, your children have a greater chance to turn out jacked up like this. Now, I want you to point out another thing. When her mom had her down on the ground, the boyfriend wasn't acting. He saw his money about to go down the drain, and he was going to hurt her mom. And her mom understood this. She thinks her mom is okay with her decision. She thinks her dad is okay with their decision. Her decision. They're not. All right? They're not. But what can they do about it? She's grown now, right? But look at this amulet she's wearing. Royalty. This is the mentality of the majority of black women. And black women are shouting out like, go girl, go girl, go girl. All right, this is how sick this is. But there is more to this. She thinks she is self-made, right? She's not self-made. Her man made her. Her boyfriend made her at 17. Her boyfriend pimped her out into stripping, sneaking into strip clubs and stripping, making money for him mainly, and she got a little bit of it. All right, but basically it was all him. How do we know? Take a listen at this.
So I mean, let me know where it all began.
Well, I used to be a dancer, and my boyfriend been watching. My boyfriend been watching porn for a long time and really likes it. And I guess it started from us making our own home videos, and he would watch me, and I wasn't really into it, but I would watch it and be like, oh, okay, damn, I look kind of good doing that. Then we wanted to start our own business, and he got a passion for making movies, got a good eye for it, so he convinced me to do porn, basically. We made our own independent movies, People's Sexual Encounters 1 and 2. I was selling them in the club, person to person, to my customers, and it was like a couple independent porn stores in Oakland that we used to frequent as customers. We sold them some of our product. They were selling in the stores, and we tried to get a distribution deal from this major distributor, San Francisco.
Notice how there's no shame.
Said that since I didn't have a name, that it was no way that they could give us a deal or whatever, because it's rare that like one person is on the box cover and nobody don't know them and somebody gonna want to pick that up, which was straight bullshit. They just didn't believe in me. But I'm glad that all the people who didn't believe in me didn't give me a chance, because I ended up finding out that what they was offering was bullshit anyway. So basically I found an agent. I wanted someone who represented other black girls in the business, like Cherokee, Jada Fire, you know, the popular girls. So once I found an agent, it was a wrap, you know. My first scene was for Bang Brothers, and I got that job. I had posted on sexyjobs.com, and this guy who worked with Bang Brothers called me. So that was in June, and then I came home and then hooked up with the agent. I sent pictures. He told me that he let a lot of companies and directors see my pictures, and they said, well, damn, you know, if she look as good as she look in her pictures, like, it's on. So when I came out, I did my little 2-week run, and we were going to focus on DVD. My partner ended up meeting someone on the internet who was telling them about websites, and we didn't really know a lot about it, but the guy was telling them, like,
Notice how she goes from boyfriend to partner.
You know, we glad we listened to him from the beginning, because instead of us focusing so much on DVDs, at the same time I was in LA shooting my first ever scenes in LA, I would meet a guy, like literally my first scene, and be like, hey, you know, what you doing later? You know, come to my hotel. I want to shoot some content for my website. And, you know, they wouldn't really charge me too much or nothing. So the whole time I was collecting my content for my website at the same time that I was getting work fresh, you know, in the business. So it was like it wasn't no like period of time where I wasn't working for myself. You know, even when I was working for other people. So coming into it, we already had a plan and timeline of what we
See how deceived that she is?
And that's why my situation is so unique. You know, a lot of people be like, well, damn, everybody gonna talk shit, and that's that keep the ball moving.
You gonna get your haters or whatever.
The good shit and the bad shit keep the ball moving. I know that if a lot of people knew what they know now, they wouldn't have did the content. They wouldn't have shot for me.
All right, now here's a couple of things I wanted to point out here. One, she has absolutely no shame. She sought the approval of the white man and the porn industry over her family, over how she would look amongst good people. All right. She, her boyfriend now becomes her partner, meaning that he's making most of the money. He's the one that got her into this. So she's not self-made. The dude made her at 17 when she got into that fight with her mom, and he almost decided to beat her mom up. All right. And then her mom kicks her out is because now the boyfriend is now a threat to the mom. You understand this? And who's not there? Who's not there to prevent this? The father. And why isn't the father there? It's because the mom picked the thug as a father, so he in and out of jail doing his thing, still in and out of jail. So there was nobody there to prevent this, to protect her from that kind of a man. Now, that's how she looked then. She went to a place called Onyx, and this was recent, very recent. And I want you to look at some of the comments of some of the patrons at Onyx. Just seen a video of Pinky stripping last night at Onyx, shaped like an IKEA Fulton. Upper right on the internet minding mine. Then I saw pics of Pinky at Onyx. I love my big girls, but man, she let herself go. But mama, she let herself go. Pinky, Trick looked more like a thumb, y'all. Sure, she was dancing at Onyx, the Waffle House. Oh, Onyx or the Waffle House. He forgot to put the space. Who she been effing? Chef Boyardee? Pinky look busted. They going to be sick at Onyx. Onyx going to be empty this weekend. And then you got I'm so finished. The big picture to the right. All right, the caption under the big picture, to the left. I'm so finished. It says, I'm so finished. This, by the last pic, was a sneak attack. So here is the question. Peking made a career choice following after some thug, forgetting that we all get old and age is harder on a woman. So how does she go from the picture on the left lusted after by men to the picture on the right disgusted by men? And you can see the disgust on that dude's face. So let's track through the progression. See how she progressed from there to there. Okay, so she started off real fine. All right, the desire of every man. But like we've been saying, she only saves herself for the thugs. The evil men. The ones that don't mean her no good. This is the one that threw college away to become a whore. This was a pic when she was making an interview, because the first thing that happened to her when she got into the industry was STDs. She had to defend herself from a lot of HIV rumors. All right. Remember when she said she had lube in her bag? Why would she have lube in her bag as a female? Because the dude, her boyfriend, her dude that pimped her into this industry, was screwing her up the behind. And she gets screwed up the behind frequently. That's why all these women catching HIV in the porn industry. So she's still got her shape, her looks right now. All right. She looked very beautiful in this picture. This by far, I would say, is the best pic she got. And minus the pink weave that she have in her head. All right, but I guess that's her gimmick. All right, now you start to see a change in her now. All right, but still, a lot of dudes will hit that. Now you start seeing the industry start to take effect on her. And this is something that can happen to every female that gets into this industry. Everybody that's in here thought they were something different. And then everybody got worn out by the industry. And remember, she was screwed by Ron Jeremy. She was talking about that in the second video. Or in the second interview, being screwed. And everybody's like, why did she screw Ron Jeremy? Because of who he was. See, that's how they break you in. You got to screw some white guys, and they get to have you any way they want you. All right? Again, that's why all these black women are coming down with this HIV. Because they'll do it any way that a bad man wants to do it. Which, again, we get back to the lube in her bag at 17. So she's already doing anal sex. All right. So you see, she's starting to get bigger. All right. Now, look at her size now. All right. So let's get back to the self-made TV. Here we are. And as you see her now, so slowly but surely, the industry has taken a hold on her. She has no morality or principles. Now her only thing is making money, popularity, and making money. She said her mom was okay with her dad was okay with it. No, they weren't okay with it. It's just that they couldn't do any dang thing about it, because they messed up when there was no good man in the house to keep her on the straight and narrow, provide structure. And even when children, as they do, go astray, that man is there to put them back on the line. And that man is also there to protect them from said boyfriend that might get your daughter put in a porn industry. The porn industry is growing so fast among black people is because of these single dang mothers who think that they can raise these girls by themselves and boys by themselves without no head, no covering, or no protection, leaving them prey for any kind of animal that wants to get up there and to destroy their spirit, life, and potential. Now she's about as big as a house. Now, we are going to get to the next shot. Now you see this, right? She's not looking that good anymore. But shoot, she's in the clothes, the tight clothes and stuff. And tight clothes make any big woman look good. Spandex do too, because they hold all that fat in. All right, so she kind of tipsy at, I guess this is Onyx, right? Now, a lot of dudes will look at this and say, oh yeah, I still hit that because that looked good. In that really skin tight thing. See, the material is smooth, but wait a minute. The rest of her body isn't. Now she looked like a hot mess. She looks disgusting. She looked like nobody should be on stage like that. She should have kept that in the dark at her house. Okay, now she does the famous black woman squat, and people are just looking in like shock and disgust. Oh, remember the black guy at the beginning? Now closer, you can really see the disgust on his face. He is really surprised. How did she get to that? So here's my final thoughts. This is how she got to that. Exodus 20 and 12. For you young girls that wonder how y'all got tied up in all this evil, why you can't get away from this thug and stuff, it says to respect your father and mother so that your days are prolonged upon the soil which Yahweh your Elohim given you, right? Respect does not mean you have to listen to them. Like if her father said do drugs, she don't have to do drugs. She don't have to sell them. Respect is this, that at the end of the day, what you do brings honor and respect upon your house. If you decide to get into something where your parents can't face you, then your days may not be long. We know her body is worn out. It's just a matter of time before the rest of her is, right? And there's a lot of HIV and AIDS going on in the porn industry right now. And we know that a lot of these women have been doing a three-way sex, if you know what I mean, and two-way, right? One is very, very high risk. And if these dudes are doing it like that, and some of these dudes are coming from the male porn industry, all right, that means they're bringing whatever they get there back to here, right? Now, this guy put this up as my final thought. He said, Pinky looks busted. They gonna be sick. Onyx gonna be empty this weekend. Pinky's reply, and at the end of the day, I'm still getting paid. But this is what Pinky, who has no honor, integrity, or anything else, forgot. Remember, the older she gets, the less she'll get paid. Because nobody want to pay some old woman to be dancing in front of them. Right? She has killed her future. Alright? She will get no Medicare, no medical. So she has no medical. She has no retirement. No Social Security, and the people that's been making most of the money off of her has not been her. It's been other people. Now, she'll tell you she's the boss, but when you really look at it, she's not. She was pimped into it by a thug at 17, maybe 16. So she was pimped into it by a thug. She has no legacy left, and the only legacy she leaves behind is the legacy of a whore that has just been worn out by the industry, the thug boyfriend she picked, and that has lost face to her mother and father. You know her mother and father don't go around the neighborhood talking about that's my daughter in them videos. They'll say that to her face, but they are not proud. And she's a fool if she thinks they are. With that said, I'm out.